And it looks like we're
We're
live.
live.
For
What's
the
going on, folks?
No name Nationals rundown. There seems to be a lot of people in here.
Yeah, we had 53 before we went live. Let's see here. One-Eyed Cat was here. JB. Oh, they were here real early. We have 74 in here right now. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Colleen. Want to guess the number of people who show up at this live or at No Name Nationals? Colleen says 160. Well, maybe. We'll see. That's probably maybe close. BNR says 500 million. Yeah, that would pretty well crash the internet, wouldn't it? That would be what, 1/15 of the world population? Yeah, exactly. Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. Rabid Transit J, White Trash Motorsports, Unfinished Project, Dart Sport. Scott Croney is here, who has 14 subscribers. But Scott may have more than that later this year. We'll see. Slant Daily Garage. Oh, yeah. Professor P was in here half hour early. Torque Racing Production rolling. How you doing? Oh, goodness. Wendy English is here. Scarlett the Four-Eyed Cuda. Buff's Garage. He's got a car to reveal for No Name Nationals 23. Well, Buff.
What?
The time is now.
It's not the Grand Prix.
Let's see here. I'm catching up. I just want to try to make sure to greet people when they come in because you guys are the reason we do this. Mopar Al is here. Chaos Garage 89, like the name. Raker is here. Let's see here.
There's a lot of them I haven't seen in a while. Shop 209 is in here. Infamous Nova.
Yeah, Jason's Garage is here. Levi's Backyard Performance.
Does he have enough subs for this year?
You know what? I think what we need to do is figure out how many Levi has and set it about 10 above it, just so he can fret. It just wouldn't be the same without that, you know?
I know. The first half of last year's announcement all the way, through, he was like, oh, God, I need subscribers. Or what are you at right now? 482. And you're like, dude, it's 3 months away. You're going to be fine.
I think we took years off of Levi's life worrying about that. But Infamous Nova's here. Infamous Nova, I read a comment from you earlier, says, I think you have to have a certain number of subscribers. Well, you know what? You do, but guess what? You have all kinds of help and support to get subscribers with this community.
Yeah, you're going to get it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. That let me tell you, anybody who starts in earnest now will get it. Dean Stevenson is here. Travis's Mopar Garage, Dakota's Timeout.
Daddy's Money Garage.
Good to see all of you guys. I see them taking guesses at what number is going to be on the orange paper. Yeah, Infamous Nova says, well, I don't have 500 subs, which I heard is a requirement. Infamous Nova, you will have plenty of opportunity to get the subs you need. And
you'll get it. Don't worry about it. As long as you're making videos, you're going to get there. There's a lot of people that can contest to that right here in the chat.
Yeah. Dakota's betting it'll be 1,000. Well, Dakota, you will soon find out. Buff's asking who's ready. Oh man, got all kind of folks in here. I'm catching up. I gotta tell you,
Austin's hitting it early. He says he needs 500 million subs. I think that's the number, or is it 5 billion?
5 billion. That's 2/3 of the earth, man. That's including all the places that aren't even industrialized. I see LP94 Lars is here. I see JB. He was here. JB's here. There's JB. I knew he was here. NSB Custom Cars. Good to see you guys. I know you've been busy. Mohawk 62 is here. Ryan Barsness is here. Good to see all of you guys. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Clint Street Machines. Clint, I'm telling you, I don't know what special place I set your decal, but it was the only one missing when I redid the board back here. And so I have no idea what special place I hid it from myself, but I will find it and go, I can't believe I did that. So anyway, you're the only one that is still off that board, but I'll get you, Clint. Frankenstein C20. Frankenstein C20 is the guy that surprised us all last year. He's the guy that disappeared with a truck that was apart and said, guys, I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Then he shows up with a truck that's done and it's like, wow, that was a great surprise.
Yeah, he started off slow and then did a video on what is it? The truck convoy. And it just
Uh-huh.
blew up. And the next thing you know, he's got all of his subs. And then he says, and we were all rooting for him, like
Yeah.
John and I secretly root for everyone that's in a no name 500 category.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were like, wow, he's going to make it. Right. And then he says, hey, I'm got some health issues. I'm not even going to show up. And we're like, whoa, okay. And then he shows up at the no name nationals.
With his truck done.
Yes, with it done.
With his truck done. And the truck was missing the whole front clip and half the engine. And then it's a done. I'm like, wow, that was just the best surprise. Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage, and Blake from Bad Tree Productions are here. Let's see. Who all else sneaked in here? We want to get caught up. Jerry Racing is here. Glad Ricky could make it. Thought I saw Track and Travel with Rick, too. So both generations of Jerry are here.
Well, Jason's Garage has an excellent idea. He says someone needs to race a taco truck at the No Name Nationals.
Duddy, that sounds like you.
How could that be wrong? I mean, you race the truck and then you serve tacos in the pits, right?
Jed is channeling his inner Ric Flair there. All right. Yeah. Andy says Lenko for the win, indeed.
You're way behind,
Patrick. I know, but I'm trying to catch everybody.
Man, I don't know if you're going to catch everyone.
Aaron is here.
The number keeps going up, John. Like there's 106.
Hey, you watch. I'm gonna get there. Big Belly Racing is here. All right, guys. We're gonna get there. Two Hacks Jeff. Buck Does It is here. We gotta make sure all our party people are here. Lunar Outlaw Garage. Glad you can make it, Brian. All right. And I think we're caught up and we're still not. Like, my goodness. Redbeard, I see you. Yep. Doug Narden's here. Jason Falk is here. Oh, wow. We're jamming now. The Nelsons are here. Wow. Okay. Well, guys, I've gone ahead and jumped ahead. I've never had 7 minutes where I couldn't catch up and greet everybody till now. So that's a pretty good sign, right? Charger 383 Mopar, the defending burnout champion of the No Name Nationals. Mrs. Dust Devil. Wow. Okay. Quite a crowd. Well, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Tony and Ron English sneaked in there. Good deal. Glad you're here. So I imagine what you guys want to know is what we have to announce tonight, right? What do we start with, Dallas? You want to talk about the venue or the date?
Well, I think the date is probably on everyone's mind first.
All right. All right. Well, let's start with the date. So we have this, right? I can't believe nobody has asked about this. Y'all took guesses in the chat. Here we go. $265. The
official dates?
The second annual No Name Nationals will be run September 21st through 23rd, 2023.
Yeah.
The orange paper is back.
So, and this was a lot of trial and error on John and I's part to be like, we didn't want the same things to happen as happened last year, right? Where we had a date change because they double booked the date. When we did change the date, it fell right on top of other events.
That was a backup date that we picked long before those other events announced.
Right.
So the duct tape drags, which wound up not even being a factor anyway, maybe even kind of helped us, to be honest. But the Holly Ford event in Bowling Green, they announced like 4 months after we did that they took those dates after we did. However, it looks like they have announced early, and so we're not on that. So that's hopefully helpful. Andrew Nelson, yes, September 21st through 23rd, 2023. This is 1 week earlier than last year, but we're actually formalizing Thursday as a day of the event. So
I think John dropped.
No, so it actually was 3 days.
Oh.
I did?
Oh, you're chopping up big time.
Oh, well, that's all right. It's all right. Yeah, so we've actually got 3 days. We're going to do. We're not have the track hot Thursday, but we are going to do a little bit more with the cruise, and we're going to do a little bit more with the dinner venue, and we got some other surprises for you for that Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
The big thing about Thursday was we realized that there was a bottleneck in tech on Friday. So what we did was we allowed an extra day to where everybody can get teched in, and that way there is no bottleneck. So the event can actually get on as scheduled.
Yeah, and it's going to help us because we're going to have tech for Thursday. We're going to relieve that bottleneck.
Chucky's Garage says all my rides are off-roading rigs. That doesn't matter. If you looked at last year's essentially list of attendees, there was all kinds of stuff. A Night Wrencher towed essentially an off-road rock climber all the way there from San Diego. So you wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah, we did have a lot of guys tow from a lot of places. Torque Racing Productions, he trailered in with his he trailered in with a military vehicle, 45 miles an hour, all the way there. I mean, I don't know if it took an entire waking day, something like that. Chop 209 says he wants to do a new build just for the No Name Nationals. That's all right. Now, as for the venue, we had a lot to try to get worked out, but we will be going back to Jeffers Motorsports Park in Sykeston, Missouri. I know that a lot of you guys are happy for that. I know I'm happy for that. It's a great venue, and they were very happy to have us back. So we'll be going back to Jeffers for 2023. 650.
I'm thinking everybody is happy about that, to be honest with you, just because
they
enjoyed the track. The camping, the shower houses, all that stuff was a good deal. Even though that Larry Jeffers bought the IHRA and that's where he's going, that doesn't mean we can't have a nice event at his place.
So a couple things. Tech also on Friday, 318 wheel run asked. Yes. But the idea, though, is so many people were here on Thursday, more than we anticipated last year, that this year we're going to get a lot of the tech done on Thursday. That'll be a big help in a couple of ways. One, it'll relieve the bottleneck on Friday. And two, it gives people an opportunity to make things right. Because tech is going to be a little bit stricter this year. There were some things that Deke let you slide on a little bit, cut you some slack. This year we got to get them straightened up. But this gives you a lot of notice. Blake wants to know, he says, I'm going back to Lambert's. Yes, we're all going back to Lambert's. So with Lambert's, remember last year we had the west side of the
the east side.
Remember we had the west side of the building and we overflowed it. So this year we're going to have the east side of the building. We got some more things that we have to iron out along the way. There are some things you cannot simply set in stone 265 days out. But we are working on those things. We are announcing what we can announce, and that is that we do have a venue. We do have a date. There will be no drill bits at the starting line. Yeah, that wasn't good. We're going to try to be diligent about keeping the track clean and all of that. Dreadhead Hayden, he wants to be there this year. Yeah, you sure should be. Yep. Now, one other really important thing we need to tell people because people are asking. We said there would be some equivalent of the No Name 500 this year. And we've decided this is going to be a twofold thing. As much as I'd like to tell you people 5,000 subs just to scare everybody, I'm not going to do that. 500 subscribers. So you guys get to breathe a little easier. We're not going to raise it to 1,000 this year. I actually thought about a commitment to raise it to 1,000, but grandfather everybody in for one more year till 2024. And that could happen. But for 2023, it's 500 subscribers. Now, what's the point in raising subscribers? Well, the point is to try to fix some people's lack of commitment to content creation, which none of you guys have. You guys are all self-starters and all that good stuff. Well, it's 500 subscribers, but what we want to do is we want to make sure that people aren't pirating material to get their subs. Okay. I know that YouTube is trying so hard to compete with TikTok that they've pretty much dropped all of their standards. And I don't care what they let you sample and what people get strikes for. It defeats the entire spirit of the community. So to get your 500 subscribers, you can't pirate content to do it. You have to make your own content to do it. Okay. The other thing too is there's so much, help and wind to your back in this community that there's no reason just to try to do this purely through mining for subs. You can do this. You can do this purely by building interest in the community, and you'll get them.
And that it was proven.
45 made it last year. You can.
Yeah, it was proven time and time again last year. If you do it just an organic channel, you make your content, somewhat a religious amount, like once every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You're going to do fine. You're going to get your 500 subs. Some of them were up at 2,500 before we even had the event. So, and those were guys that started at literally zero, right? So,
okay. BNR has a question here. This is something else I've got to iron out the fine details of Dallas before we announce. Yes, we do want to do something for the folks who fell short. There were 20 channels that registered and did not get their subs. There were 20. We do want to do something for you guys. I will probably be emailing you this week. Okay. But don't stress. Everybody's got a chance at redemption.
The other thing I want to address is there's a comment here, and I've stopped my chat on this side. Thank God you didn't, because you'd never catch up. Because it's like it's been there sitting there for like 5 months or 5 minutes. But Pure Pontiac Garage asks, "What about the property being for sale?" And that's a good question. There's been a lot of comments flying around YouTube and Facebook about this same situation. So I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. That property has been for sale for almost 3 years now. It was for sale when we had the event last year.
Oh, yeah.
All it is we have it written into the contract to whoever buys it has to assume the event as is, right? Like the contract that's already written. They have to follow the contract. Because you can't set a schedule and have a racing event, a whole season lined up, and then sell the track and it's all gone tomorrow.
There's going to be a lot of events in this same situation.
Right.
Lots of events. And in general, in real estate, just in general, leases convey with the sale of a property. That's how all real estate works. If you buy a house and a tenant has a lease for, say, 10 more months, you now have that tenant for the next 10 months. And then you can decide on renewal, but you have to honor leases in place. The leases do survive the sale, and Jeffers is no exception. So this changes nothing with us. In fact, we think that a sale could wind up being a positive thing. We don't have any reason to think it's a negative thing at all. So it's a non-factor. Dudes with wrenches started with zero and just hit 100,000. Yeah.
Man.
Two Hacks Jeff's at 3,300. He started with zero in January. It just goes to show you that it's what you can do, what is possible. Yeah, let's all buy the track. I don't know how stock of that would work. Well, Scott, glad you were here for the announcement, man. If you want to get in the mix, you'll know how to do it. Irish Outlaw wants to find a car carrier. I do want to work something like that out if we can do it. And Tony's Hot Rod Garage is asking when registration opens. There's a little bit more I need to do to get it finished. I'm hoping to open that tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah, so that's always been the plan, is that it was going to go live January the 1st at midnight.
Yeah.
12:01.
So when the ball crashes in Times Square, you got better things to do. Yeah, most of the old parts and Russ Patrick wants to be the first pair down the track with Ricky Gervais. Well, Dr. Art was the first one down the track last year. Pure Pontiac Garage, it's a long way to 500. It's a whole lot longer way to go than if you don't start. But I can tell you, a lot of these guys made it happen.
It's actually not that long to 500.
It goes by. You just get to work and it happens.
Yeah, we are going to continue to have the content creators workshops to help you refine your product. But it's up to you to make the content. You have to make the content. That's the important part.
Bad Tree says darts to the front. Travis says price. Make a very small few percentage increase. We're going to have to. Everything else has gone up. What's a barrel of PJ1 running right now, Dallas? Track prep. I mean, it's
$1,500 a barrel, and it was $1,100 a barrel when we did the event.
Everything has gone up. So, but we're actually not going up as much as going to cost us. But we're anticipating having more people register. So that's fingers crossed. We're hoping that you guys show up in the numbers that you guys seem to want to. So it's going to work out. I expect to get just as rich off of this year as I did last year, which I didn't draw a dime.
Yeah, we did it all for you guys. It was essentially just a selfless act to bring the community together, because there isn't an event for content creators technically.
Well, Austin, if you're not participating in it, I can tell you that. But if you are participating in it, not so much. Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing. We gotta, we have certain expenses to incur. But for those of you just rolling in, as I can't imagine there's anybody left in the YouTube universe, there's 129 of you in here now. We will be September 21st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's a week earlier. And we will be back at Jeffers Motorsports Park in Sykeston. We still got lots of little things, loose ends to tie up and little things to work out. But we did want to announce that for you guys, that is the plan. And we have some cool surprises. Some things we'll tell you once they're finalized. Some things we think you just like to show up and see them. But we got some cool stuff planned. Really cool stuff. Yeah, Amber Rose says, if you're close to 500, come anyway. Hang out at the gate. You'll get your numbers. Yeah, you can. But I'll tell you, now that you saw what happened last year, and now that right now, there really shouldn't be anybody have trouble getting 500. There's lots of time. There's 265 days to get your 500. You should be able to get it. There's lots of help here. Redbeard says the Barber Boys will be there. Yep, cool.
113 Cycles is asking, any changes to the monkey bike rules? As of right now, no. I don't think there's going to be any changes. What we're doing is we're taking a majority of what we had last year and try to refine it to a better product for everybody else. So the only thing it's going to do is pretty much just increase the fun. So that's the idea.
Yeah, one thing too that'll be back, because we've had a really positive response to people wanting to build monkey bikes. It looks like there will be twice as many people who want to bring monkey bikes in 2023 as 2022. Looks like they're up in the game too. So I would say it will take a little more to win that. I think it's going to take more to win everything. Charger 383 Mopar, our defending burnout competition winner, with notice his picture there. He says he'll do his best to have his 65 Cushman there.
Leonard, it won't qualify for monkey bike.
Leonard says, are you going to change up the burnout pit? Maybe an Australian burnout. We had a massive burnout pit. Jeremy says, I'm planning on putting dually tires on the Dart.
We had a massive burnout pit that we were expecting. We were thinking that it would be more impressive to do donuts in the burnout pit if your burnout pit was shaped like a donut. So we literally had a hole in the middle of the burnout pit that was grass. And, that was I guess you missed out on it, Lunar. You could have seen how that thing went, because you had a humongous amount of room to do a burnout on there.
Hey, you got a mod? We need to time Dakota out. Yeah, Dakota's been timed out. But yeah, Mopar Al's hoping for 3 cars. Yeah, it looks like everybody is trying to bring more. Everybody's trying to be quicker. I don't know that I've talked to anybody that wants to be slower than they were. I mean, it looks like quite a step up. Everybody's wanting to take. Yep, Greased Lightning Garage, No Name Nationals are busting 2023. Yep.
So
Redbeard wants to have a burnout car this year. Yeah, we're probably expecting lots of that. There will probably be lots of people trying to bring burnout cars and specialize.
well,
Scott
Pure
Speed
Pontiac
Shop says,
Power.
I just don't want to break.
Pure Pontiac Garage again is asking a couple more questions. Is there a place to get the rules and requirements and then classes? Right now, the plan is to kind of emulate what was happening last year, where we had a bracket class. We had a 28-10-5 class, which was essentially steel roof and quarters, and virtually anything goes as long as it's on a 28-10-5. The other rules and requirements we had for the monkey bike, I think the monkey bike was the only one that was like a rules limited class, right, John?
Right. Well, we did have a 28-10-5 tire limit on the other, but it was the only one that really had much of rules at all.
Right.
The monkey bike was specified.
Right. But the whole idea about the monkey bike rules, it tells you what you can't do. It doesn't tell you what you can. And what you're supposed to do is think your way around the rules and come up with something to be, that's essentially a gray area. You can't modify the stock you have to run a stock clutch. It doesn't say you can't modify the stock clutch. It doesn't say that you can't lighten the stock clutch or change the springs in the stock clutch. It just says it has to be a stock clutch. The whole idea behind that was to keep you from going and get a junior dragster clutch and run a junior dragster clutch on the thing.
We can't have those things going 100 miles an hour. But I'll say you this. Okay, real quick, I'll grab Track and Travel with Rick's question. Yes, we do. I will put that up on the screen shortly. All right, that's coming. I got some little things here to share with you guys, and because my technology just does not work as good as it should, I'm a very analog guy. I'm going to try something. I'll let you guys check this out.
John, I just got news. We had to build another race car.
No, I'm not doing it.
We don't really have a choice. Considering that this car's main purpose now was to transport dog food and boxes, we can't use this. This is like taking a moving truck to an event. You can't do that.
We could take a moving truck.
I don't even think this thing will start.
I don't know.
I mean, we can find out.
Yeah.
Oh, John, we can't take this car. The door handle doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, we gotta fix that.
Oh, we don't fix anything. It makes it too nice. We already spent too much money on it. Why would we spend another $10 on a door handle? This is definitely going to start on the first try. For sure. No problems. Oh, those lines were empty. I mean, maybe we can make it work. I mean, I'm not...
There's plenty of time.
Dude, we have, 8 months. How are we going to hook up nitrous in 8 months? I mean, do you think that it's enough time to make, 3, 4 AN lines to hook up nitrous to make it to this event? Because we're really cutting it on time. We could just build another car or make some nitrous lines.
We could just build something else that doesn't have nitrous.
But then what are we going to use to haul dog food in boxes?
Well, we can still use this. That's what the back seat's for.
Okay, all right. We'll make a phone call. I'll fix it. Yeah, hey, Whistling Diesel? I know about the restraining order. Okay, I'm just calling to let you know that we won't be able to make it to the lake because we're going to the No Name Nationals. Oh, you weren't going to meet us there. Well, John, our schedule cleared up. Plans that were made previously are not happening. So,
Okay.
I guess we're going to the No Name Nationals again in 2023.
Cool.
And bringing our box hauler. See y'all there.
So there we go. Our friends are back. We got some guys coming back. We'll cameo some people who couldn't be here. Every time I try to do presenter mode, it always fouls it up. I've just never been any good at that.
Well, I'm glad they're going to be back. And
I'm glad they're going to be back.
And now they get to make some passes without the front end wobbling all around.
Yeah, that they do. And got more people who are going to be back. Let's see if I can do this.
I will be at 2023 AHRA No Name Nationals. See y'all there.
And what was Joe putting on his car?
Don't that look nice?
Bracket champion, No Name Nationals.
You know, I was actually just thinking that. You already sent him that? I was thinking we should have got him a big one that goes, remember like the 90s ones that said like Trans Am or Pontiac, right? On the windshield. We should have got one that said the Champ, right? That way you could try to really take him out.
Blake, I know how to screen share. It's just it wreaks havoc in any browser on this thing. So we got some more people that have stuff has hit our inbox.
Giant 5 Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Here we come. 2023 No Name Nationals, the best automotive YouTube content creator community on the face of the planet. I'm going to be bringing the big bad rowdy bird this year. Not going to break the transmission, but I'm going to be bringing more than 480 horsepower, and you can take that to the bank. See you guys there. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Two Hacks Jeff will be back. And this guy.
Levi says he's already got his hotel room booked.
And check this out.
Hey everyone, John Colt from Colt Racing Transmissions. We did make it to the first No Name Nationals, and we're definitely going to go to the second No Name Nationals in 2023. So you better look out because we're coming for you.
Cope's going to be bringing it. Anyway, I just think it's good when we have. I told people, I said, if you want to make a little announcement, send me something. So Thumper here says that he's shooting for an operable truck and a drivable car. That's a good goal.
Those two are kind of go hand in hand.
I hope you bring yourself. Yeah, I thought that was cool. That Cope, he comes up with some cool stuff. Lots of people camping out. Ron's camping out. Lars is camping out. Yeah, the camping there is good. We'll have that's why we things to work around as last year.
Exactly, and that's why we chose those dates, because the weather is spectacular in September in Southeast Missouri.
Yeah, Buff is bringing spares, and Austin's just not wanting to break an idler arm, and yeah. I showed up late. When and where? Oh, goodness. Well, the win is on the top of the screen there. September 21st through 23rd, 2023. And we're going back to Jeffers Motorsports Park in Sikeston, Missouri. So it's a week earlier, which gets us off of the Ford event there in Bowling Green. But it'll be September 21 through 23, 2023, Jeffers Motorsports Park.
Hey, you see Professor P in here is calling me out.
I see that.
Calling me out.
Really
Man,
early.
I gotta bring something.
Yeah, the weather was great. It was a little chilly in the morning, but it was never roasting hot, and it was warm into the evening. You weren't freezing in the evening either. It was nice. It was really nice. Hey, Andrew Nelson says we plan to bring a few more gears. Just saying, those guys are going to be bringing it. And by the way, the Nelsons, I'm going to be live with the Nelsons on January 20th. So come and bring your learning hat, because we got all kinds of cool tech lives coming up. We're going to have Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage on January 6th, all about tunnel rams. And we're going to have the Nelsons talking about all kinds of stuff. Or begin, bring your want to learn. Those guys know a lot of stuff. January 20th with the Nelsons.
Oh, well, Slant Daily Garage, Professor P here is saying he's wanting to race my Thunderbird versus his Dart. So he's wanting a rematch of our match race in 2016. He needs to reclaim the title of, I don't know, best gunslinger? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, Red Beard, we're going to have, Dallas and I are going to have more lives talking about more individual facets of this event as the year goes on, okay? So we're not trying to cover everything in big depth right now for a reason. But
it was more or less like, date and place.
Right. We're going to talk more about the classes and any little tweaks we're doing. That we will be doing that. So as the year goes on, look for that, okay?
Oh, Buff saying he's calling out Roland at Torque Racing Production.
I see that. One thing I would consider, guys, is remember, having your call outs early and all is cool, but you saw how much changed between January and September in 2022. You keep that in mind for 2023. But yeah, man, I love to see a call out that you get ready for, and then you take the distance, and then it does happen. That's great.
Well, it's Dr. Art just messaged me, and he said he already made a call out video. So
Jury wants a rematch with Redbeard. Oh my goodness.
That was an awesome race, though.
I'm mildly speechless. Levi burned himself out of a win. Well, that happens sometimes. Sometimes there are people who snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. What can I say? Let's see here. I have my... Buff is saying one of my 3 Pontiacs will run and make it. Do you have to have 3 Pontiacs to have good odds of having one running by September?
That's not a good showing for your brand.
Daddy's Money Garage. Again, we have things that we're going to be talking about in more detail on subsequent lives. Dallas and I will be live many more times in the next 265 days. But yes, we are going to have some things to help keep that stuff in check. Now, I will say that when you do something the first time, you kind of have a backlog of stuff you got to deal with, but I expect less of that this year, because last year, everybody who was there was awesome. So I'm hoping we'll have the very same thing this year, and we can have more awesome people. That's great. But yes, that is the plan. We want to try to keep it that way. Exactly. The event was fine. It's just, there's always a little bit of YouTube drama leading up to it, but we took care. We got that stuff put out. The event itself, there was no drama at all. It was wonderful. Yeah,
in fact, everyone was actually happy to see everyone there.
Yes.
That's what was really interesting about it. The track operators, they do about, I'd say, probably 50 races a year, if not more than that. They were like, this is the most laid back, awesome event that we've ever been a part of, just because there was no BS. There was no issues. There was no fighting. It was just a good time. Everybody was there to see everybody.
Yes, family reunion where a drag race broke out. Exactly. Speaking of Big Block 402, as Blake is mentioning there. So this year we have something interesting that we didn't have last year. We have people have contributed to the awards. So this very rod and piston will be the top of the worst oil down trophy for 2023. This came out of Stevens' engine in the big block 402 in the truck candy cane. This came out of that engine.
That's candy cane 6 stripe.
This is it. This is the you can see it.
Yeah.
Steven sent me this. This is the top of the trophy. So if you are unfortunate enough to win the worst oil down, which we're not telling anybody you want to win that, but if you do, you will have a piece of the history of the worst oil down. And I expect you to pay that forward. So, send us a rod and piston out of your new boat anchor, and that will go to the unlucky recipient in 2024. Dr. Art, that's something that we need to work on. We're working on that. That's on my list. Jeremy, me and both of my carburetors will be there. Yeah. Jeremy's got some plans. Scott Speed Shop Jetson, I'm so glad I didn't win that trophy. Well, I mean, you were in the lead for it, but I'm
in the running. But
I'm glad we got a trophy topper from it at least.
That gear lube was a lot easier to clean up than Stephen Myrick's entire oil pan and radiator.
Right. Let's see here. Jed should be honored just to be nominated. Well, he was in the lead until Stephen put down 500 feet of oil.
Well, he actually had the probably the neatest thing at the biggest oil down, because there wasn't a lot of oil downs, right? There really wasn't. And when he dumped the clutch on Jezebel and it kicked the entire rear tail shaft housing off of the tranny, that was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't like by any means of junk stuff that he had on there. He had like a billet yoke on the thing, and it took the entire tail shaft housing plus the yoke plus the output shaft all in one big slice. Like you got in there with like a katana and just freaking cut the end of the tail shaft off.
Yeah, it got to be the cleanest tail shaft snap I've ever seen. Took the housing, the shaft, and everything. It wasn't like it was cut by bandsaw, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, I would have to say that the output shaft broke first, and it broke everything else along with it. Is what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the way that always goes. That's the way that happens. I'm going to see if I can play this. I'm going to try this. Let's give this a whirl here. More low tech coming your way. Oh, no. Turn the sound on for do that, huh?
Super low tech.
Hi, this is Ron Ward with Mostly Old Parts. Letting everybody know that I will be back for the No Name Nationals second edition. I guess they call it 2.0. Maybe second annual, however they want to do that. Anyway, I'm proud to be the voice of the No Name Nationals and looking forward to seeing everybody out there again. Hope you all can join us. I know Gladys is going to be there with us, and we'll have a good time.
Ron Ward is back, and the voice of the No Name Nationals will be back in the booth, and you will see lots of familiar faces coming back. Again, you got to stay tuned to these lives because that's where we're going to be talking about these things. But there will be lots of familiar faces to No Name Nationals. I have yet to meet anybody who says I'm not coming back, but we're telling you who is coming back.
Yeah, well, who was the guy that was asking about announcing? Last year, Ron was more than happy to share some time with you up in the booth if you wanted to come announce.
Yeah, he's the voice of the No Name Nationals, and he's back. He is back. And by the way, I'll just say, I know some people just think it's funny, but I'll say this. All that this is the second annual No Name Nationals. It builds on the traditions and the legacy of the first No Name Nationals. And we'll have a third annual No Name Nationals. When you have something like a software that's version 2.3, that just means that you dispose of everything before it. And you'll just
Start all
dispose
over.
of it. Makes it a very disposable thing with no legacy. And that's not what this event is. We want to have the memories of the first annual. That's why I named it the inaugural No Name Nationals. You notice that was on it. And this is the second annual. This event had every intention of being something that will continue to have a legacy that builds from year to year. There's nothing that replaces it. There's nothing that updates it. There's nothing that makes it obsolete. Yes, Thaddeus May saying the old guard of the No Name Nationals has been established. Right, exactly. That's why there's not like an update type of name to it. And that way we can look back in the past and we can say, we can always say that this happened at the inaugural event.
Well, plus, if it was version 2.0, John and I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now telling you. So
yeah, but that's a software update on something that goes away, and just that truly, it cheapens the event. This is your national event for you guys. This is a very legit thing, and believe me, it has caught the attention of a lot of people. So there might have been people that might not have taken it seriously last year, but we got their attention this year. Blake says, become a member of the AHRA today. I agree. I'm a member of the AHRA. It is the sanctioning body for the rest of us.
That's how we do this.
I can tell you this, if any other body were sanctioning this event, the entry fee would be at least twice what it is.
Yeah, we're not there to shake everybody down. That's why this is just a reasonable price, so you can have a good time with your family and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
And also, we wouldn't be making the shots on all the cool stuff that happens at the event. It would be sponsors doing that. And it would be the kind of corporate sponsors who do not have the right ideas and imagination to make this event telling you how to run it. And that's what we have committed not to do. And that, to me, is one reason why it works so well. Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of people might not have noticed about this event. Did you notice that in our winner's circle, so to speak, when we did the awards presentation, there were no cars in it, but it was flooded with people? How many events do you ever see where the car isn't the focus of the winner's circle? And how many events do you see where the winner's circle is shared by everyone? That's the way the No Name Nationals was. And when you think about that, that shows you just how different the event is. And look at the characters. I mean, look at you guys. Every single one of you stands out in a crowd like a rock star because you are. That's what people got everybody's attention, why it's so different. It's not.
Dude Mopar's asking when can he register? He missed it.
Dude Mopar, before you register, I'm going to email you. Okay. But I'm going to, registration will be open. My goal is to have it open at midnight tomorrow night. Okay. 318 Wheel Runs asking, can I compete this year? No, the event takes, it's a full-time thing. It's a solid part-time thing all the way to get there, and it's a full-time thing on D-Day. So unfortunately, no. But I'll tell you one thing. I am more than happy to not, because I absolutely love getting to spend that time with you guys. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yeah, Dude Millport saying make sure we have no hurricanes. Yep, I'll be in touch with you.
I'm already working the mojo right now.
I see Big Richard sneaked in here. Buck says the No Name National gave us no names a name. Well, yeah, I mean it's a blue collar event. The registration site will be open. Will be live tomorrow at midnight. It'll be nonamenationals.com. You can type that in. I'll also drop a link to the direct square link to registration. Well, Jed, you need to take that van and set it up to tow. Buff's Garage said it weeds out the imposters and creates a YouTube community for the racer. It's a YouTube event, not just a racing event. That's exactly right. And all we're really asking is we got to have really good conduct, no drama, no fights, no problems. And you guys last year were incredible. We had none of that. In
And
fact,
you left it. Yeah, they left the track cleaner than they found it.
left it cleaner than they found it. And I was talking with Ron Ward. He's like, man, I never heard anybody raise a voice or scuffle or anything. Nope. It was wonderful. We need that again this year. We need that again. Irish Outlaw Garage. I appreciate that, man. We'll see. Andrew Nelson says, can you share what you'll be doing about car numbers? That's another one on my list. I got a couple little things to work out. See, everything I put on my list, I'll usually have about 20 facets of it to get worked out, then I announce it. But yes, I'm working on car numbers. I'll explain that in a subsequent live. Dallas and I were live every other Friday through the season. And so Dallas and I we don't know when that'll start necessarily, but we will be having several more lives. You guys this is the place for news. Okay? This is the place for news. Pure Pontiac Garage, you're still excluding good people because of sub count. I think they're excluding us because they don't want to 500 subs, the support in this community is worth half of that alone.
The only reason it was ever 500 was not to ding anyone. That number was because that's where YouTube recognized you as a content creator.
I mean,
that was it.
This event is for us content creators to have a good time. I mean, we're only saying 500 subs. Anybody can get 500 subs that wants to make 500 subs. I mean, without that, there's all kinds of events that don't have that at all. Why can't there be one event for the content creator? And we're just saying 500 subs. So somebody has to have a little bit of, accountability. They have to show their car. This is me. This is what I'm working on. This is my shop. This is what I do. And if you do that, you'll get your 500 subs. You'll get it. So seriously, because these guys want to help you.
Being on racing,
and it makes the community a little more accountable. Because that way, when people come to the event, they already know who you are, what you look like. That was a wonderful thing about last year. Nobody had to ask anybody's name. Everybody there recognized everybody when they got there, and it really contributed to the community. Again, if we didn't have a no-name 500, we wouldn't have that. And 45 out of 65 made it. I'm convinced that there could be 100% could make it, especially starting now.
Well, and okay, to be fair about that, there was people walking around that'd be like, hey, Dallas, and I didn't have a clue who they were because they had recognized me from YouTube. But the other thing is, if you look at the 45 of the 65 that made it, they put in the time and the effort to essentially do the work to get their 500 subs. Now, the 20 people that didn't make it, if you go back and look, they registered like day one and didn't do a video past the first week. That was just how it went. I don't know why. It was entirely on them, and I guess they probably just said, hey, no.
But Pure Pontiac Garage, this is an event that anybody can compete in. I mean, did you see the stuff that came to the No Name Nationals in 2022? Did you see those cars? Man, there was some shoestring stuff. It doesn't cost you anything to get 500 subs. Nothing. Cost you a little bit of time. Cost you, you need to get involved with your community. But yeah, and once you're in the pits, you don't know who has 500 subs and who has 50,000 because everybody is cool and they all hang out together and it's great. That No Name 500 added so much to the No Name Nationals in 2022. So much. I mean, guys, look at this screen. Buck does it. Two Hacks Garage, Barrows, Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. I mean, look how Buff's channel exploded. There's just so many channels that just did so much. Big Richard says, I'm going by myself this next year. Well, cool, man. And Richard's close. Richard's got, I think, 310, something like that. Richard's close. Dude with Fringes says Buff is the man. I'd agree with that. Buff's a good dude. Works hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Frankenstein's got the right attitude. He says this event challenged me in many ways, made me stronger in many ways. Yeah, I'm telling you, all you got to have, if it's something you want to do, is jump in and do it. And people love the experience, and they do it. Here's Jay. I think Jay was the second person to cross the finish line in the No Name 500. Jay's got what, 2,000 some subs now. NSB guys say the No Name Nationals tire shop is going to be open again. Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
You'll have an ability to change tires with a nice Coates tire machine there on site.
Yeah, they did an excellent job last year with having that tire machine. You know, those guys literally left their house during a hurricane to come to the event, and the houses got flooded while they were gone, and had a smile on their face the whole time, changing tires for a lot of people.
First Responder had 15 subscribers, and he's got 700 and some. He made it. Perpetual Projects, I know they were in the No Name 500. They made it. Jiray was in the No Name 500. They made it. So was Buck. So was Thumper. All these guys got their subs. So I like what the No Name 500 has done. It's really been a bonding experience for this community. And there's so much help and support. You will never see any community on YouTube offer as much help and support as you will to see people in this community help you get your subs. Levi here. You know, he got his 500. Levi worried about it felt like about 14 years. But Levi got his subs, and he was there, and we look forward to seeing Levi again. Brewer was there. Boy, those guys brought it. You missed a good show if you didn't see those guys. Scott Speed Shop says going to need that. Might be doing the burnout competition. Jed, you're going to do the burnout competition? Well, that will be interesting. Now, this is a good point Tony brings up here, too. You know, even if you don't participate for whatever reason, spectators are welcome. I mean, you can buy tickets. You can come hang with everybody. And the cruise and the dinner at Lambert's, all of that's open to everybody. Everybody can do that. Come do it. So we look forward to seeing a lot of, in fact, we probably half of the channels that were there were not participating with a vehicle. They were just there, just brought themselves, and it was great. Yeah, Barrows is saying he had 42 subscribers last year and was monetized before the No Name Nationals. Yeah, Barrows can tell you all about it. That's a guy right there. Let me tell you, Kim Barrows, I'm going to be having him on some lives if he would be so gracious as to do them over the stretch, because there's a guy who just took all of the little things that he learned along the way about how to build a channel and put them together, and man, he's a success story from the No Name 500 if ever one was. B&R saying you'll get your 500. Yeah, these guys, they know what they're talking about. They lived it. They did it. Yeah, Thumper had 120. He's 1,030. Travis cruised across his 500. Yeah, all these guys did it. Yep. So, yeah, Russell just got his 900 today. Speaking of the sub counts, I know the Nelsons are just a few subs short of 20,000. And they want to hit 20,000 before the first of the year. So if you're not subscribed to Nivlak 57, you are missing out. That's a fun channel. Those guys make some fast cars. They have a whole fleet of fast cars. They do like twin turbo Chevy 6-cylinder, wild stuff over there. They run Sick Week. They're coming back to the second annual No Name Nationals. Those guys, they're really cool people. You can learn a lot from them, and they're just short of 20,000. Their goal is to have it by the end of the year. So if you have not yet checked out Nivlak 57's channel, check those guys out. As always, I never tell anybody, hey, you should subscribe to this person. I'll make the recommendation. You check it out, and then them earning the sub is on them. But Yep, Andy will be there. Andy Wood, you'll be our live guest next week, January 6th, the Tunnel Ram Technology Live. Bring your Tunnel Ram questions. Tunnel Ram dual carbs. Andy is the man. Let's see. Uh-oh. JB plans on some burnout contest. That could be really interesting.
That Supercharged 2.8. It's going to be doing some serious burnouts.
Daddy's Money Garage is the thing I love about the No Name Nationals. You have cars like Poor Boys and Brewers all the way down to Duddy's Adventures, who by some miracle passed tech. Yeah, exactly. We have it all there. We have it all there. And the thing is everybody has a great time together. Yeah, Andy says he's not racing the family truckster this year. Well, Andy's getting close to making some noise with his truck Casper, so. Oh, goodness. Got to scroll forward.
Well, here's something that's interesting. If you scroll down, there's a comment by a guy named Jerry Franks. And Jerry Franks says, you missed it.
No, I didn't. I saw it. He lives in the area. He's not a content creator, wants to help.
Yeah, I thought that's cool.
I got you, Jerry. And you know what? We will talk more about help and things like that. If there's help that we need during the setup, we'll talk about it. But dude, plan on attending. Andrew Nelson says they're 80 short. They need 80 to hit their 20,000 goal. Well, I got to say, it's not like trying to get the last 20 or the last 80 for a No Name 500 channel, but I will say, I hope you guys get your 20,000. One way or the other, you're going to get it in very short order. Yes, exactly. We'd love for you to come by anyway, Jerry. Mike hit 500 Thanksgiving. Yes. And Thumper's trying to get people. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, Pure Pontiac, there's a lot of guys here that they really, it did a lot for them and built the community. It was really strong. It really did a lot for it. Did a lot for the community. Streetcar Chronicles wants to get some redemption, which is excellent. I see Dr. Arts want me to plug his call-out video. He did make some call-outs. You can see that on Dr. Arts Hot Rod Rehab. Streetcar Chronicles, do you have your premiere tonight? Please let me know in the comments if you do. Yeah, you see how it works in here too. A lot of people subscribe to each other. The community, as the community gets bigger and bigger, that's going to really give people a lot of head start on sub counts. So that is eventually going to probably have to change it a little bit, but Whitetail Ranchers is better late than never. Hey, glad you're here. Clint says he gets sunburn opening the refrigerator. Well, that's impressive. Yep, Streetcar Chronicles. Streetcar Chronicles will be live after this live. So after there, I'm going to go over and watch Ryan's premiere, and you guys can check him out on the Streetcar Chronicles channel.
I think Night Wrencher nails it. Night Wrencher nailed this thing here.
He nails it. Guy's smart.
He says, it's interesting how small channels see sub counts as a number and not as people. Give people a reason to sub to you. They're not just a number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That dude is one sharp guy. If you did
Yes,
not take a look at
yes,
his
he
4x4, that thing was about the most extreme piece I've ever seen. It literally was like a 5.3 LS with a blow-through carburetor turbo, and it had like a Nissan transmission in it, and was a short bed, half-ton 4x4 with full floating axles. It was like
Night Wrencher is very
extreme.
savvy. He is very savvy. And that's very good. I mean, you think about it, you're basically having to get the endorsement of 500 people. Well, if you think about it, 200 channels came to the No Name Nationals last year. And that's just channels. There were a lot more people than that. So it really to get 500 subscribers from this community alone, let alone the people outside of it, absolutely doable. Absolutely. And it's good because once you have all those people, that are enjoying and sharing your content, it builds a community. It's good.
Big Billy Racing's asking Dallas and John going to race No Name Nationals. I already have a standing rule where I won't race in my own stuff. John kind of he agrees with that because it's kind of unfortunate when you put the thing together. If I mean in this one there's no real money on the line or nothing like that, but if I was to win $1, right, people would always wonder if I really won that dollar, and it's like it's easy enough to just stay away from it. I'd love to race. The reason why this race, like we do this is the race John and I wanted to have, right?
Exactly.
Like we wanted to be in it. We're like, how come nobody does one of these? So we came up with the thing, and you just sacrifice so you can allow other people to enjoy what you would have thought would have been a great event.
Jeb brings up a good point here too. So I don't use the term fan. Okay. If I'm talking about a fan, it's a fan on a radiator. Subscribers is okay, but I will say one thing. I don't like fans. They're people, they're fellow enthusiasts, they're your friends. One thing about the No Name Nationals, and was probably one of the tough things for maybe 1% of people to get past, is that this event was all about the viewers having an opportunity to have a common experience of becoming fellow content creators. And almost all of them, they ran with it. They embraced it and became fellow content creators. And it was great and it worked. The people that didn't quite get with the program were people who maybe had a mentality kind of being fans in the comments. And then when given the opportunity to be a fellow content creator, it didn't work. It caused strife and stuff. And none of those people showed up at the event. It was great. But that's the thing. It's the mentality. The people who became fellow content creators and said, hey, I get it. We have this common experience. I understand the struggles of creating content and building views and that kind of thing. And I think that contributed greatly to why everybody got along so well. We all know what it's like to put heart and soul into a video and not get views. We all know what it's like to say, hey, wow, that one's like hitting the lottery. And we have those common experiences, and it really helped us.
What's funny is that everyone starts seeing everybody's videos and they start sharing them around. And next thing you know, you end up with a viral video that was never intended to be a video that you cared about. It was just something you put up there like, hey, I was doing this and it's interesting. And next thing you know, all the other people are sharing it around amongst the community.
And Night Wrencher, yeah, we can do that. We can schedule you for a live here this season. We can do that. Not a problem. That's another thing too I thought was interesting. I had somebody one time say, well, the problem you'll have is that all of these people are subscribing to each other. And I said, no, that's not a problem at all. Because when they're subscribing to each other, they're all keeping up with each other's content. And that builds a strong community. And it absolutely did. And then you get all of those people around those people, and it works. Because that's why it was big last year, and it's poised to be much bigger this year. No, it does work. We want them all to subscribe to each other. because that's how you have fellow content creators. You're not that way. They're not all operating in an island of isolation.
Well, and the thing is that the difference between this race and any other drag race, if you want to look at it like that, is you go to there to race other competitors. At this event, you go to there to race other people that have the same affliction as you. YouTube content creation, and it just so happens to be in the automotive genre. And so you go there, and you might be floored by the first two people. You say, "Oh man, I've never seen you on in real life, and it's so good to meet you." And then you might meet somebody that you never even seen before, and you're like, "Well, this is amazing," and it's just a completely different experience. That was the whole idea behind this.
You will have people come up to you at the event that were watching your stuff that you never even knew existed, and you didn't realize that you meant something to them from the content you create. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And by the way, if Dizzy Izzy there, that guy, he shows you how to never give up, and he made it. Dizzy was the 45th of 45 to make it across the finish line. He did it.
But 318 Will Run just sent a $2 super chat.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you.
That is so funny. Well,
yeah, I do.
The first time I won. Yeah, we definitely need to set that up because there's a lot of experience. That's the neat thing about this. If there's 100-something people in this chat and they've been doing this for a year or two, right? That's 2, maybe even 300 years of experience right there.
Oh, yeah. Buck is right. It's a big community. It's not, I got to tell you, I never saw anybody get ill about losing or anything there. Everybody was having a blast running with each other. It was great. JB says, bring what you have and have fun with what you have, win or lose. And he's right. That's exactly how it was. We had a grand old time.
And here's the thing, like John and I were talking about the other day, I don't think there was anybody there that even remembered any times or anything. They just remembered, they had a lot of fun, who they raced, how they fared. And then, it was really that. It wasn't really so much of a race. That's what made it great.
Jason wants more shaky video. Ask and you shall receive. Let's see if I can do this. Here we go.
I am coming back to the No Name Nationals in 2023 to defend my title as a Burnout Champion in my Charger here. If you think you got what it takes, come on down, give us a show. And if you win, you can even win yourself a little trophy like this.
Now, that is William, Charger 383 Mopar. He is our defending Burnout Champion, and that cube he's holding is an epoxy cube full of actual rubber that burned off of his rear tires. And that will be the top of the trophy for the Burnout Champion in 2023.
Oh, Austin's he's such a card. Look at this. He just sent you a super chat. We went to the lake with Whistling Diesel.
Austin did?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. News, huh? New news.
I haven't even seen that yet.
Irish Outlaw Garage says he brought a freaking ambulance.
So check this out. He went to the lake with Whistling Diesel and come on off of there. Huh. There you go, Austin. It now hangs on the wall. I'll put that back later. But it's on the wall now, Austin. He sent me that, so I hung it up.
Ron G says, John and Dallas, don't know whose idea it was originally, and I don't really care at this point, but the No Name Nationals is the best darn idea I've heard in a long time for our sport in a grassroots sense. It really is. And I love that. We don't really get a lot of praise. People said, hey, they're a lot of fun, but this is the whole idea was just to have fun at a grassroots level and enjoy it, but while bringing together the community so that you can have your trials and tribulations, somebody to mentor you, to help you develop. There was so many good things about it, and it wasn't just a race. That's where the racing was like we said I put in the picture, I think the week after, and someone said it already tonight. We had a family reunion and a drag race broke out. And that literally is what happened. I mean, the racing was kind of secondary. The camaraderie was the primary thing. The camaraderie made it all happen.
I agree. We just make the stage. You guys make the show. And we said, oh, thank you, Buff. I appreciate that. Buff says, again, for 2023 Pontiac Powwow will be live from the No Name Nationals. Well, actually, it should be live from Lambert's because that's what you did last year. So,
man, I missed out on that.
Yeah, you'll be there this year, Dallas. Dallas had to meet the Minor Fire Department to fill the water barriers for the burnout competition. So I get it. And
I missed all that.
He and I missed different things trying to make sure the event ran. So, but no, I would look for the Pontiac Power Hour to be live from the event. So for those of you who weren't there last year, we had a flash mob car show at Lambert's where we intended to just absolutely crash the place. They wouldn't let us make a reservation for 200, so we just showed up. But they got with the program really quickly, and they actually heard about it beforehand and said, we will give you the entire west side of the parking lot. And so this year we're moving to the even bigger east side of the parking lot. Still making sure that's confirmed, but we're planning to move to the east side of the parking lot and have an even bigger car show at Lambert's. We're going to cruise to dinner, and we're going to have a massive car show, and that's one of the best opportunities for the public to meet and greet, especially if you're local in that area. Come to that, and when you meet all those people, you'll definitely want to come see them race the next 2 days.
Yeah, there's no entry fee. It's just you pull in, and we have an instant car show. That was kind of the idea, was the flash mob car show. All it is you got a time and a place, and you be there. It doesn't cost anything. There's nothing special about it. There's no awards. You're going to get to meet everybody. They're going to get to look at your ride. You get to check out their rides. It was a flash mob car show meant to be fun.
We're going to have a giant car show assemble at Lambert's again this year. White Trash Motorsports Sam says, I have a few plans for my slow Cutlass street car. Yeah.
That thing was anything but slow. Yeah, anything but slow.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Austin, I should tell Austin that this event is September 19th through the 23rd so that Austin will make it by the 21st. That's about the time frame that Austin runs on, but he'll be there.
Well, would he show up on Saturday?
I
can't remember. Was it Friday evening?
He showed up at 1 a.m. on Saturday. Yeah, we got some things we're going to do. We're going to make sure we're closing that track down physically. There's things we're going to have to do for the sake of safety this year, and they will happen.
Dakota says Sam sounds like he's sandbagging, and Sam was one of the quicker guys at the 28-10-5 shootout. To be honest with you, he was fast.
Oh yeah, Sam. That car will move. Don't let him fool you there. Yes, TaylorMade Muscle, we want to see you again, and registration opens at midnight tomorrow, but shoot me an email or I'll email you.
Danny Boyd right below that says, can he hide nitrous oxide in the roll cage tubing? You don't even have to hide it.
Why will you hide it?
You can run it there out in the open.
Yes. Well, just Mopar Joe was hiding it, but that was his prerogative, right?
It looks like Blake wants some Korean short ribs, as Ron Ward calls it, meat candy.
So I was in the tower with Ron Ward. Joe had just won the bracket. He went 722, 722, 722 all day, right? And so then Joe's in the first round of 28-10-5. And Ron Ward, I'm up in the tower when Joe's calling that, when Ron is calling that, and Joe's in the far lane. I think it's James and James in the near. And Joe left with the front wheels up, and Ron Ward, after he called, he turned around. His eyes were real big. He wasn't expecting that. Joe kind of wanted to surprise people, and he did. What is this? That would give 500 subs really easy. Just saying.
No one's going to care. You could probably come there and run in some of the classes if you want.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you still need to get your subs, but if you have a dragster that runs 380s in the 8th, you're going to get 500 subs so easy you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, you don't have to run for exhibition. You could run in one of the classes, multiple classes. That everybody there is for exhibition.
Your challenge wouldn't even be 500 subs. Your challenge would be, can I do it in one short, or do I have to make a second?
I think you should show up and call out Andrew Nelson.
Well, Mopar Jeff, if you don't mind, email me. Just email me. My email is on my channel, john@PrincetonDragway.com. That's how you can get a hold of me. And you can be happy to talk with you about that. Let's see here. So we're talking about 4L60Es. Yep. See, Hunter's already excited about it. Hunter's excited. He's got about 400 subs to go, 399, something like that, and he's going to do it. Those Bethune boys, they are hardcore. They are going to get their subs. They're going to do it.
I'm sure he's going to have, and I'll put a projection out there. Okay. So those of you that are starting off now, let's say you got 0. Okay. You have 0 subs or 1. I'll bet a majority of you, if you put in the effort right now and start doing a video consistently, right? Like every couple of days, you got something out there. You're probably going to have 1,500 subs by the time it rolls around. Now, there is a select few that have a really tough time trying to connect to the audience or their viewers, or, figure out what their direction is on their channel or what they need to improve upon. But that's what those content creator workshops are all about. And
they will.
Yeah.
What's a 380 in the quarter? Oh goodness, that's probably what would you say it is, Dallas? About
it'd be about a 5.
No, I would think that'd be about a 620, 610, 60. Oh yeah, that's booking it. 380 in the 8's 200 miles an hour. I can tell you that.
I would have to say that's probably more closer to a 580, John.
Might be. That's pretty quick.
Oh yeah, but I'm assuming this dragster is probably geared for the 8th, and that's why it runs that number.
Well, I know a pro.
But it said it's turbocharged, twin turbocharged 604 big block Dodge, right?
Yeah. Mopar Jeff said 601 1/4. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, one short can get you 500 subs. Absolutely. Andrew Nelson, 598. So basically, Jason 6 flat. So in other words, insanely quick. That's what it is. It's retina detaching quick. 218 in the 8th. Now that is a lot of mile an hour, even for a 380.
I don't know if you could really. I don't know if you could scrub that at Jeffers. Jeffers does have a fairly short shutdown.
Well, but they've run pro mods there.
Oh yeah, I guess so. If you got a parachute, you can probably do it.
Kai Kelly was testing there last time we.
Well, yeah, and he was running. He was running 3s, right? So.
Oh yeah.
He was the time before that when we went there to put up the billboard. Kai Kelly was there in the pits, had just finished testing.
Yeah. Unfinished project says 614. Professor P says 610. So now we've got guesses that range between 598 and 614. Yeah, see, why were we even speculating, Dallas? We have all this talent in here. I mean, we got Andrew Nelson, we've got Professor P, we've got so many guys. We have engineers in the chat. I mean, why were we making it hard?
What's Danny Boyd saying? We need a mic? I got a mic right here. You can't hear me? Maybe it should be turned more towards my face.
All right, we have more guest clips that have appeared. More guest clips have appeared. See if that'll play. Still waiting. No, still buffering. That one was shot in 800K resolution. I'll give it a minute. I just, for whatever reason, this browser, I guess, is just really outdated. I need to fix it so it plays stuff. But me and my breaker point self will get with the program soon.
Well, Perpetual Projects is... Yeah.
So they're giving away a shirt with their truck that broke 2 drive shafts.
Well, I think it was 2 U joints, right? Wasn't it the rear U joint? Just jacked it both times.
Broke the transmission the second time.
Yeah.
No, Blake, it's a good video. I just need to let it buffer. It's not you, it's me. I need better technology. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I just try to be very, very careful to not let it get all crazy. Yeah. So you guys, you have any other questions, anything that we at this point can answer? There are plenty of things we cannot yet answer, but we'll tell you what we can. Auto Salvage Outlaws is giving away a shirt too. Yeah, a lot of 1,000 sub giveaways. These guys like to give back. They're going to ship a shirt to your door for our 1,000 sub. They're doing a 1,000 sub giveaway at Auto Salvage Outlaws.
Huh. A lot of these guys I'm already subbed to, though. Dang it. Should I go unsub and then resub them?
Mostly old parts and rust. Will the bucket truck be there again? Asking for a friend. Are you talking about the JLG lift? I sure hope so, because I sure have some needs with that JLG lift. So
yeah, I don't think we could make it anything happen without that thing.
Roy,
God, could you imagine how long Thursday would have been if we didn't have that?
No Outfits Garage. No, everything's not basic. There's a lot of things, little small changes, but the same outline is close. It's pretty close.
We're trying to refine what we had last year, right? And then make things better. That's really about what we're looking at.
If you're a Pontiac Garage, you're not throwing in the towel just yet. You haven't started. It's 265 days. Jed wants to make a one-word announcement from the booth. That sounds incredibly dangerous. I'm going to say no.
I wonder what the one word would be.
I don't even want. Yes, he does still want to do a push race, but then he had trouble getting his car there, or trouble getting a trailer to get the car there. So that kind of foiled his plan. Well, I will say one thing. We don't want people doing ridiculous, family unfriendly nonsense in our booth. You guys did great last year, and we want to continue to see that. Because you think about it, what we need for this event to be healthy for a generation to come is to make sure that it stays family friendly, and that these young guns who are going to be the ones who replace us one day have a good event to come up in. And it definitely can be that.
Yeah, they're the next generation of YouTubers, right? They're all
Yeah.
matter of fact, that's right now, that is the number one job that children want to be when they grow up as an influencer, right? And that's
Yeah.
what this entire community is about. So we set the standard right here.
No, Cabral cannot be an announcer. But it was fun to just see what he want to do, but we don't need that.
I wanted him to sing the
together with
national
all
anthem.
14 of his friends.
I wanted him to sing the national anthem last year. He said he was a professional singer, so I wanted to see him sing the national anthem.
Buff, there's going to be details on things coming up soon. We can't get in the weeds of details on every live. So the goal of this live is we wanted to announce the dates. We wanted to announce the place. We wanted to let you know that it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll have a similar structure to last year because, after all, when something works really well, we want to not change it all up, right? I mean, that's the last thing we want to do. Yep, Buff, don't worry. Buff, there's plenty more news coming. It's all good. What in the world is unfinished project? Looks like pi times 100 plus 55, 841. Yeah.
Huh.
Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda, that'd be a big negative. Frankenstein says 3 days. Understand, we say 3 days. We're going to use Thursday for an organizational day. We're going to structure things just a little bit more on Thursday. We are not planning to be racing.
Yeah, there's no racing on Thursday.
Yeah, but Thursday is going to help us get more racing in on Friday and Saturday.
If you're not going to be there for Thursday, it's not a big deal. Thursday, there's no racing. The event still is happening essentially Friday and Saturday is the big deal, right?
I would try to be there on Thursday if you can, because that's going to be a day full of fun and good stuff. And Thursday, I got some ideas that are going to really help.
Right. Thursday is going to be, we're going to open tech so that people can go through tech early. And that way there's not so much of a bottleneck in tech. The other thing is you always got the Flash Mob car show at Lambert's.
Yep. No, Thursday's a day you want to be there. There's a lot of cool stuff. BNR, if you use 3.1459 for pi, you're circling round, buddy. I use 3.1415926. You forgot a digit. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Yeah, exactly. Most people were there most of the time. Just Mopar Joe in the house. The defending No Name Nationals bracket champion. Glad you could make it.
Oh, Streetcar Chronicles asks a good question. Will there be some night racing this time? So the only reason there wasn't night racing last time was because, if you remember, the burnout contest essentially happened under the lights, right?
You got to give things up. You got to give things away and not do things to race a little bit more. So do you want to have more time to race or give? So just wait and see what we have before we try to do any re-engine. Believe me, there's lots of cool stuff going on at night. Just bear with us. Yes, Dean is exactly right. Like the pro stock thing, yeah, we're talking about the numbers a little bit, Andrew. But again, that's a detail that we really don't have to know today. We got thoughts on it, but we wanted to announce today what you need to know today. And that's where the event is, what days it is, some basic on the structure. But that's what you need to know today, and that's what we're telling you today.
The nighttime racing thing would be nice, but we literally had to play Tetris with the schedule just to get what we had last year.
Wait till you see our itinerary for 2023. Just
Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. How about a burnout through the pits at night? No, that's
absolutely
not going to
not.
happen. No.
No way. I'm telling you, everybody likes to horse around and carry on a little bit. We can't have that. I mean, there were a little bit of people that were not really carrying on a little bit in the pits and stuff like that. Can't have that. I'm telling you. One accident shuts an event down. We just can't have that. So you guys did awesome last year. We just want to tighten up, and that's what we need. Well, Levi, we're going to be having a burnout competition on Friday night under the lights. And, man, you know what? Bring it. Yeah, look at that. There's people going to finish this live with more subs than they started.
And it's the first one. It's the first live. Where's Pure Pontiac? Where's that guy at? I'm going to go sub him real quick.
Yeah.
So now he's only going to get $4.99.
I did not know I would be saying this sentence, but I think that Jed was one of the better behaved people. Jed was very good in 2023. Bring extra tires. Jason is right. That's right. Any of you guys have any other questions? Again, there's only so much. One thing we try not to do is announce something that has to change after we announce it. So we are trying to get details worked out. So before we announce it, we get it really right. That way you don't have to backtrack. Word doesn't have to get out to people and so forth.
Man, Pure Pontiac Garage has got 39 subs now.
Let me tell you something. 39 is more than most of the No Name 500 guys started with. And you have more days to do it than they did.
Yeah.
We moved the event up a week, but we're announcing it 12 days earlier.
I had the vid last year, if you remember. So I was
Daddy
down.
Money Garage, stay tuned on that one. Stay tuned on that one. I had a very nice, pleasant conversation with Buzz yesterday. Colleen, what was the highest view count for tonight's live? I have no idea. It was 100 something. I don't know. I don't know. Pure Pontiac 44. Yeah. Well, I mean, but I don't know. Is Pure Pontiac, are you declaring for the No Name 500 or? Because I got to tell you, last time we announced it, Rabid Transit Garage Jay there, before the live was even over, Jay had registered first. I mean, I don't even know if the ink was dry on my notepad before Jay had run over there and registered. Dizzy Izzy says he won't forget his helmet. Wants to come race with Joe. Yeah. Yeah. Well, by the next time we do a live, to give you more information, we're going to have registration open. We're going to have worked out a few more details because last year we had certain things we had to work out and we announced them as we went, and that's a natural progression. Auto Salvage Outlaws, I never got a registration from you last year. There was a published list. You could see it on my channel. But we can definitely work that out.
Man, see, right now it's like Pure Pontiac Garage is probably going to have 50 subs by the time this live is over.
Well, yeah,
and we're not.
That's 10% of what you need.
Yeah, that happened with just one live.
Yeah,
just one.
Slant Daily said 50, and we weren't even making a call for subs. Yeah, send out ballistics. Hunter's got 100. What do you have, 100? 101, 102, something like that, 103. Now, Nick the Van Man, 90. We will see. BNR says, am I going to invite import guys? Import guys, I mean, they're invited just like everyone else.
We had motorhome guys last year. Motorhome guys.
500 subs is
stock
what?
car guys.
500
We're not
subs
excluding
is-
anyone.
It doesn't matter what you run. You can run an import there.
You can run an import, an export, an upside down port. You can run a naval port, whatever you wanted.
But you can, yeah.
I think what would be the coolest thing is somebody build a giant trailer with a water trough on it and put a boat in there and then pull it down the track.
You know, Jeremy, I'm trying to put that video up, and what I'm going to do, because some of these videos don't want to play from any browser I have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put every clip I got, because you've seen all of them at Blake's. I'm going to put every clip I've got into one video, and I'll put it up on my channel. That's what I'll do.
Man, all these Pontiacs are coming out of the woodwork. I need to do my sibling rivalry race. I think I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Pontiacs. A lot of Pontiacs in this community.
Yeah. Buick versus Olds versus Pontiac versus Cadillac.
I wouldn't be shocked if Pontiac was the #2 most popular make at the No Name Nationals next year.
Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be surprised if there was more Pontiacs than Mopars, but I would not be surprised if it was the second most represented make at the event. Indeed. Be nice to see some Pontiacs there. Oh, yeah, there'll be a lot of Pontiacs there.
I'd be happy if it was Pontiacs, wall to wall, right? I mean, last year we were Mopar heavy. I mean, it was literally just the group that we were in, very Mopar heavy. And maybe this year we could be Pontiac heavy. Maybe this year we'll still be Mopar heavy with a lot of Pontiacs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that I like my Buicks. So, and I'll probably bring a Ford if I don't know if I'm going to be match racing Polito or not. That's 2 trips for me there.
Bad Tree, I've got this. I'm getting there. You see, I just finally updated the back here. I'm getting there. I'm actually going to, what I want to do in here is expand this studio. So I'm going to move everything forward so that I have room in here if I want to do more show and tell type stuff or do something on a live, like carburetor or transmission or whatever. I'll be able to do that in here because the way it's laid out now, it won't let me. But yeah, I'd love to do that. And so that's kind of, we're working that way.
Dakota, I don't think Shane wants to race my T-Bird, so I might have to drag it out of hiatus. I don't know.
Yep. Landon just hit 1,500 subs. Yep. Yeah, Landon. Well, he really sprang up a lot of subs in short time. A lot of Mopar YouTubers like Fast Car. Yeah, oh yeah, there was a lot of Mopars there. That I guess Nacho is probably not coming unless J-Bo wants to race it. Well, I mean, a lot of people want to see Nacho though, Blake. That car is really popular.
So popular that I'm wearing a hoodie, a Nacho hoodie.
Check that out. And you can get that shirt from Schultz Sign. Show the Nacho shirt there.
The Nacho hoodie.
That's it.
Blake gave me this when the temperature dropped at night and we were freezing to death at the No Name Nationals. And Daddy came by and ate all the short ribs.
BNR Racing, those guys, they're invited. If someone wants to bring a 2JZ or whatever all that is, yeah, that's fine. In fact, Lunar was wanting to bring his with turbocharged. So
his was like a Toyota or something, right? Yeah, Lunar was going to bring like a Supra.
Right. Lunar is hopefully he'll be there. And you can also get your Just Mopar Joe swag from Schultz Sign. Jason says it wasn't freezing. Jason knows what cold is.
Yeah, it was cold if you had shorts and a t-shirt on, and you hadn't drank as many I guess frosty beverages as Blake. Yeah, it was getting down chilly at night, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure I remember people having dew all over their tents and stuff. Man, here is Streetcar Chronicles saying, "I'll run any NA combo at No Name Nationals as long as it's a true streetcar." Polito, there's your heads up race.
Who's saying that?
Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles.
I'm just hoping B&R will bring the world's fastest 1970 Ram Air 4 Pontiac. I think it goes 160 on the street, according to him.
Who's that?
B&R Racing.
Oh, I was just looking at Jed. He said he was freezing trying to sleep in Jezebel. It was chilly at night, I'm telling you.
I'd say Jezebel's not that well insulated against draft.
Oh yeah, well we did. Ron English is say, "Hey Dallas, don't forget the No Name Nationals beer brew." We did somebody made beer. Who made a beer? I can't remember who made the beer.
RC Industries. Rick
Yes,
from RC Industries
yeah.
did.
He made some No Name Nationals beer, and we drank it down there that evening. We ended up drinking a lot of beers that night. Oh, not a lot, maybe like 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Blake,
Yeah?
did you hear?
Hear what, Jeremy?
No Name Nationals again.
Again?
Will you be there?
I don't know, man. This thing's a pain in the ass right now. We'll try.
He'll be there.
We'll be there. We'll see you there. Piece of shit.
BTP will be back.
They had a big show in there last year. Rented a trailer and had an absolute blast.
Stephen Holtz says they are doing coffee awards for 2023 as well.
Oh, and his coffee's fantastic. We had it the first week I got home. You got a super chat here from Bear Rose saying, "When do the tickets go on sale? I'm ready to go." It's going to happen.
Registration will open tomorrow at midnight, unless something bizarre happens. It should be open tomorrow at midnight. Right on schedule. We actually moved this live up a day, but the registration should still be right on time. And I'm just telling you, it's going to be hard to beat Jay of Rapid Transit. Jay is, when it comes to the first comment on any video ever, it's always unfinished project. And the first person to register is always Jay from Rapid Transit.
Yeah. So Jed's saying that his dad loves the coffee from Stephen Hotz just driving. That coffee was freaking fantastic.
I am so completely unqualified to know anything about coffee, but
I remember the first time I asked you, "Hey, drink coffee?" "No." "Tea?" "No." Like, how do you wake up in the morning? I just get up. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, taking the fun out of it.
It weirds Dallas out that I sleep on the floor. I don't drink coffee. I'm just
Dude, I was in the Navy, man. I mean, like if you cut me at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would bleed Colombian black. I mean, that's how bad it was. We would drink coffee like it was going out of style. But that's because like you would have watch sometimes 2 to 7 in the morning, and then you'd sleep for 45 minutes and then be up for the day.
So Ron English, we're going to follow the same thing we did last year. your registration includes one human handler for that vehicle. Every vehicle needs its own registration. That includes one human handler. So 3 vehicles includes 3 people. 1 vehicle and 3 people is 1 registration plus 2 spectator tickets. Daddy's Money Garage is asking, how do I send a super chat? You unplug your computer or turn around 180 degrees. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all of you. All this goes straight in the kitty, I'll tell you that. It is not a cheap undertaking to put on the No Name Nationals, but it is so worth it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the feel good after you do that event is like super duper high. Oh,
let's see here.
Man, what are you looking at now, John?
I'm looking up something Ryan sent me. And I don't know why I can't find it. Maybe it's not finished downloading yet.
Oh, must be a huge file. Another video.
Saying you have to hit the dollar bill under the chat. Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Buff. I appreciate that, man. We do have some surprises in store for you guys, but unlike most surprises in life, like bills and family surprises that suck and that kind of stuff, we actually have some surprises I think you guys are really going to like.
Yeah, we have some in the works. We're not going to let them out yet.
Yeah, yeah, we do. And it's just trust what we got. We got some cool stuff we're working on. Some really neat stuff.
The surprise I might throw out there is like I'm thinking I should bring a couple more trophies. There seems to be like that was a big thing. Everybody enjoyed the trophy thing, but I don't know if it's going to make it too long. Look at Shane Polito. Professor P down here is trying to influence the outcome of this event.
Professor P is making me want Dallas to beat him for some reason. Daddy's Money Garage. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, guys. Really, I do. I do. Thank you much. Unfinished project. What he says, apparently the largest super chat is $4.99.99. Well, I have no idea. I want to know. Thank you much, 2 hacks. Salt and butter fun for Orville Reinbacher. Yes, if you didn't get to hear his popcorn machine a pop and you missed out. Scott Speed Shop said there should be a trophy for the car with the most blue paint. Well, I can tell you, I don't think either of yours would win that because yours seem to be about 60% blue paint and 40% surface rust. So I don't know that you could get that even in a sea of blue cars, man.
I would have to say that Jack Pine Savage would probably easily take that.
Yes, that's a beautiful car.
It is, and it's like
I appreciate it.
So thick lacquer paint from the 60s. It looks so good.
The radio and TV at the same time. If you're watching football and you have local broadcasters, you can turn your sound off on the TV and use the radio audio, and it usually is better if there's not a time delay on the screen. FYI. Yes, Jed, I'm serious. I'm so glad that we're past the generation that was all about shiny paint and waxing cars and stuff, because that kept so many people from doing anything. And this crew just goes out and makes it happen. They How many of the cars do you think were washed before they went on the trailers to go to the No Name Nationals? What percentage?
Oh man. Probably 30, 40%.
Maybe 30, yeah, right. What percentage of the cars are washed before they go to car shows?
Oh, all of them, yeah.
Right. And that's the difference. And nobody cared. We all had a wonderful time.
I didn't have any paint to wash on my my Ford truck. I mean, it's like literally surface rust, and it's past the clear coat. It's actually down to the base coat now.
Right.
And now it's going to be even worse because I'm going to have whatever paint comes on the junkyard hood and whatever the bumper looks like when I get it. Kenny
Thank you,
Whitton is
Landon.
asking, will
Landon loves the
Sanford be
party.
there? I don't think
Yeah,
Sanford's
Kenny,
going to
you
be
know what?
there.
We don't do the troll chatter here. We don't do it
Yeah,
here. Do
I
it
don't
over
think he's
there.
going to make it.
But thank you, Landon. Punisher Le Mans, Pontiac to the front, Mopar to the rear. Well, I'll highlight it, but that's going to be about the only glory it's going to get, man.
Oh, Jeremy, yes, my Ford was badass. I crashed it the week after the No Name Nationals. Big Mike threw you a super chat.
All right.
Here's a few bucks for the cause. That'll get the ball rolling.
Thank you, sir.
What's going on here? Huh.
Thank you much. Jeremy says, oh, no.
Yeah, it's just superficial exterior damage. It's not a big deal. But I'll have to find another Oxford white Ford truck to get the parts off of. Or if I can't find one, it's going to go with whatever parts I can find.
Why don't you thought about doing a collaboration to get some paint done with one of these guys, Dallas, that likes to paint?
Oh, I like to paint. It's just
Yeah.
I ain't got time to paint, and I don't have room to paint. So I'm just going to throw it on there, and then maybe next year I'll have my garage cleaned out and I can paint it. I actually enjoyed paint and body work.
Yeah, Dizzy says the Pontiacs go to the front, but that's only because the Mopars are pushing them to the staging lanes. That makes sense. That makes all kinds of sense. All right. We have one more guest clip in here, and I think the time is just right for it.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, bud.
Are we going to go to the No Name Nationals next year?
The No Name Nationals?
Denied.
It's not done loading yet.
So you know what you got to do? You're going to have to wait till I put that video up to see the rest of Ryan's dream sequence about the No Name Nationals. But that said, I'm going to put it all in one video. We're about time. So you guys have any last questions? Anything you want to put out there? Don't forget, registration will open tomorrow night at midnight. And I want to thank the mods. We're in here keeping things running right. We had Joe in here. We had Andy in here. We have Buff. We have Blake. Get several mods in here. Appreciate you guys. White Trash Sam says that while Pontiac is arguing with Mopar, Oles will sneak on by. He might be right. Not leaving you guys hanging. We got plenty more lives to come. Dallas and I'm sure will be live many times down the stretch of 2023.
Oh, Bear Rose is saying we need more Fords this year. Team Ford Unite, even if you have to LS swap it. Don't push that. Yeah,
man, that started out so good. And he killed it.
Yeah, maybe I should tell my T-Bird their account as 2 Fords. And I'll let Polito race himself.
Andrew Nelson says 6 cylinders to the front. Well, he might be right. Thank you, Landon.
Sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Austin. Very cool of you guys.
Oh, man.
Tall Garage there, who I haven't gotten to greet Ken tonight. He says it's the thing. Scott
Here pretty soon it's going to be
host. Thank you, man.
Buick 350 swap's going to be the thing here soon.
Yeah, well, we got about a minute left, so if anybody has anything profound, now is the time. And we're going to be wrapping up. Track Travel with Rick says, you guys hardly got a break. Man, there was practically no off season.
I was thinking about this. It was like 2.5 months since the last event, right?
Right. Well, but I mean, there was 6,500 hashtag videos, right? And now we're closing in on 7,000. So that means in the off season, you guys made hundreds and hundreds of videos. And by the way, do continue the hashtag No Name Nationals. You realize we made it all the way up to 7th on Google in hashtags that begin with the letters NON. That's huge when you think about it. We were 7th on the list of anything that begins with NON, like non or anything like that. That's amazing. That shows just how powerful you guys have affected Google with all your work. So when you continue to make your videos this year, continue that hashtag No Name Nationals. The newer stuff will rise to the top. And man, it's amazing to think where we could be at the end of this year. We had 6,500 videos last year. We could see that. Yeah, spell it out. No Name Nationals. Yep. By the way, yeah, Jeremy says party at the headquarters New Year's Eve. So tomorrow night, I believe there's going to be a live Bad Tree Productions. They'll be doing their New Year's Eve live over there. And
Man.
Ryan, Streetcar Chronicles, this Ryan right here, he is going to be live. He's got a premiere coming up here in 5 minutes, and we're going to wrap up right now. So, Dallas, you got anything else?
Not really. I guess I'll just throw out there, go hit the AHRA eBay page and buy some decals. I even got the merch left over from No Name Nationals, like the participant decals and stuff like that over there. But that's how we put on these events is literally like from selling merchandise like that.
We got more things coming from our friend like Brinker over there, Dust Devil Garage. We'll talk about that on a live in the future. But anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for showing up tonight. We're really looking forward to having a wonderful time at the 2nd annual No Name Nationals, September 21st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2023 at Jeffers Motorsports Park, Sykeston, Missouri. We're getting ready to do it again. You got 265 days, and we're out.
See you later.